zero level damage. Surge. Oh, again.
Man, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Like, oh wait, this could be a lot of damage right here. Oh, never mind. I take it back. It's another quick. Wow. Vortex kick. Vortex kick. Bart's
And
down.
killing that Bart.
Oh,
wow, that's game.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the What If Blind Enthusiast League Season 2. So we are entering week 2 of this tournament, and so without further ado, let's just go ahead and take a look at the standings and see where we're at. And so for our standings, we have Surftaco, Unhindered, Kellz, Ram9, and Isvar, all with 1-0. So once again, this is the first week, so the standings aren't the most exciting, but these players are already off to a good start for their Wbel season. So here's hoping that the ones who have not gotten a point yet are able to get on the board this week. But I'm sure the ones who already have a point are trying to stop that from happening. So good luck to all competitors, and let's go ahead and get into the match.
All right, everybody, this matchup, we got Surftaco, aka Get Enthused, with his glassy animals. They're looking to see who their daddy is, but they're taking on Alkor with Who's Your Daddy. On Surftaco's side, we got Etra, Celebrated Jaden, and Original Glaciella Wizette, a full cold triangle going on there. And on Alkor's side, we got Surges, Dario the Crystalborn, and Varush. So we got some wind katana teams going on that side. So let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
All right. So right off the bat, we got Jaden doing his shield blessing on the team. We got Glaciella doing her Tranquil Spirit TMR, giving her some shell. Varush got his barrier going on. That's very helpful for him. Very important for that magic mitigation. Dario also putting on his buffs, running forward, ready to tank up.
Allow me to show you the refinement of my technique.
Surges on the other side of the map, giving himself some hate and move. Looked like he only moved 3, so it looks like he had Kane's TMR on. And we're up to Jaden again, popping him some bells. Hopefully resolve some AP issues that he's known for.
Back into it.
Wow, okay.
The
shield doing its job right there. With 10,000 HP is gonna be a lot to chew through. I didn't expect Surges to be able to do that in one hit, but it's good to know that it held up for Surftaco. On the other hand, 7,000 damage coming out. That's and the stun is not looking too great for the Surges. So a really good start for Surftaco, and Alkor's side, that Surges, is going down. And the Berserk landed too right before he went down. So I saw the Berserk TMR and I saw the Silence TMR. So Surftaco is not playing with these status effects. And he's also not playing with the damage. That was 6,000 damage or so on that Dario, which is impressive, honestly. Because Dario is one of the new hot, great tanks. And I mean, honestly, the damage he's taking is pretty significant. Varush coming in. Unfortunately, I would hope Varush to enter the fight a little sooner, but maybe he's gonna just one-shot the edge. Yeah, so that's what Alkor kind of needed to get back into this fight, and I'm hoping that Dario survived at least one more hit. And Glaciella's out of AP, so she's gonna get some back from the basic attack, which is unfortunate for Alkor, but Get Enthused is still in a very commanding position, especially with the elemental advantage on that Ice Jaden. It's looking really rough for Alkor, I'm not gonna lie. But he tanked that really well. I know he had the magic barrier, which is why the first one got mitigated. I don't know how much of the second attack got mitigated, but man, it'll all depend on the next attack coming out from this Ice Jaden, because I say that, but never mind. Glaciella proving me wrong, dealing 5,700. So Ice Jaden just needed to clean up there. That was brutal. Wow.
All right. Wow. So congratulations to Surftaco for picking up that win. He was able to take out Alkor's side. He did have the element advantage with the Jaden going against 2 wind units, and I think that was huge in kind of getting rid of that tank in Dario pretty quickly. Varush did have his magic shield up. That did keep him in the fight quite a bit, but he just couldn't return the damage to kind of catch up to the initial hits that his team took. So in the end, the Jaden went out. Impressive showing from Surftaco. Good try from Alkor.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, it was a really rough matchup for Alkor's side with the physical barrier coming out from the Ice Jaden, soaking up that initial hit from Surges. And honestly, the Farouche taking a little bit longer to get into the fight than I would have liked to see, because Dario, even though he was taking some significant damage, he did at least survive, I think, about 2 rounds of both Glaciella and Ice Jaden. So he was tanking pretty well. It's just he himself didn't have a whole lot of damage, and Farouche definitely had some damage. He hit Glaciella for about 5,000 and one-shot the Etra. So
yeah, that max damage on Etra, yeah.
Yeah, so which you would hope.
Poor Etra.
Yeah, poor Etra. But yeah, you'd hope with the elemental advantage, but yeah, I mean, still, it showed that he had the damage. He just didn't get the chance to deal that damage until the very end of the fight. So very well prepared from Surftaco's side. I saw the Berserk TMR. I saw the Silence TMR. So he had the status effects going. And like I said, I was expecting the Silence to land on the Dario, but it wasn't even needed. But yeah, it was just an unfortunate matchup for Alkor, and but well prepared, I'd say, on both sides. So GG's to both players, and congrats to Surftaco.
GG's. All right, next up we got Isvar with his Elda Enthusiast. Not bringing Elda this time. We got Volke, Minwu, and Golbez going up versus Kellz and his Feather Force. We got Helena, the Black Robed Witch, Kilfi, and Valade, one of my favorite supports. So we got some fire with Golbez and some magic on the other side. So let's see how they do on the ship deck. All right, here we go. Right off the bat, we've got Helena running backwards and doing her spirit buff, with Kilfi going up next and charging, probably her barrier. Set the pace, Addison Ray TMR coming out from Minwu. Valade doing his accuracy, protect, and a bunch of other good stuff buff. Volke pulling out the TMR with AoE resist. There's her shield, and Golbez doing an Umbral Calling. And Minwu's casting, charging. And next up we got Helena. Still have time for a few more buffs before they engage. Neither side has any kind of missile or long-range units. Golbez putting in the re-raise online. I don't think the other side has a way to take that out, so that's a smart play. Kilfei run up with a buff and moving into the center. Valade, he's probably going to do a Barb Lazara. Oh no, Oceanic Protection. All right. An interesting tech, yeah. Volke doing his re-raise and hate up move, so he's ready to tank. And now he's hasted up as well to get out a little further forward when it's his turn. Minwu casting another spell in the back. Helena running forward, ready to engage. But she's not doing anything, so not quite yet.
Not quite yet. But we got Volk going in and see the damage. Not a whole lot, which is kind of be expected when we saw the fire res buff come out, and we saw all the Devout itself with all the vision cards in is very tanky. So I'm not surprised to see it do that little damage. I want to see how much Golbez does though. Even less. Oh my goodness. I was expecting around the same, because he's not a fire type unit, so he doesn't get hindered by that fire res buff. But only 500 is really impressive, and I'm expecting a lot of damage because this new limit burst, upgrade limit burst from Black Robe Helmet, that chunked Golbez pretty hard. Volk's still standing there with quite a bit of health, but Golbez needing that health, so he's probably thanking Minwu real hard right now. Here comes Volk. Let's see his damage on the Kilfei. Around the same as what it did to Black Robed Helena, so not a whole lot, especially with Valade there to be able to heal him up. I think one thing that is really needed from Isvar's side is to take out this Valade, because, oh yeah, that damage, the re-raise remove and 6,000 damage, that, okay. Okay, so I was waiting to see how much damage the Golbez would do to the Valade. It is a lot more than the 500, but it's still only 2,000. That's going to get healed right back up by this Valade. So unless Volk can one-shot this Valade, this is going to look really rough for Isvar's side. Because Black Robe Helena is going to do a whole lot of damage right here. Yeah, once again, barely not taking out that Golbez and chunking Volk pretty hard. And unfortunately, the Volk is not able to one-shot the Valade, so I just have a feeling that it's going to get healed right back up, and Isvar's side is looking pretty hurt. Minwoo's coming up next, so she's going to be able to at least heal one of them up, when she chooses Volk. But Valade is lower on the turn rotation, so if Golbez lives, he might be able to take out the Valade. Okay, that's the one shot. If he does not take out the Valade right here, it's probably going to be curtains for Isvar's side. So, but Black Robe Helena gets her cast off first. And now here comes the heal from Valade. I'm imagining this has to be the heal from Valade. Yeah. And with Isvar not being able to one-shot any of the units, I think, and the magic reflex, he's like, I'm not even taking the chance. I'm just going to make sure. I'm going to make sure I do not die right here. And then Killfei should be able to not quite clean him up, but Black Robe Helena is going to be able to definitely clean this up here. And then we've got Minwoo, which, not discounting Minwoo, we've seen her put in some work in the previous league, or in the previous, in the other leagues and in the previous week. So she can deal some damage if she goes into offense mode, but getting her there is rough, and Valade's gonna heal back up again, I'd imagine. Yep. So a full health team versus Minwoo versus the world right here. Let's see how it goes, and let's see whose cast time goes off first. Okay, Black Robed Helena goes off first. Only does a nice. That's a good chunk, but not too much. Honestly, that's pretty good for a support. She's dealing more than Golbez did. And healing herself back up. I think this is going to turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, with both Black Robe Helena and Killfei not being able to kill her and only 5 actions left. I don't think Isvar has a chance to win, but I definitely think that Kellz isn't going to be able to clean up this last kill here. Yeah, that's one tanky Minwoo. With that, there's the end of the match there.
Oh, all right.
Oh man,
wow,
that was quite the match.
Had it. Yeah, that was an incredibly tanky side on Kellz there. We've seen the Black Rose Helena and Killfei be tanky in previous tournaments and stuff. But that was incredibly tanky, withstanding the punishment for both Golbez and Volk. Volk, a tank himself, but also not able to put out the damage, even going against the Ice Valade. He couldn't chunk him down to get him off the field. So incredibly tanky side. Isvar just couldn't cut through it. That Minwoo was built really well, was tanking, but couldn't keep her side alive long enough to balance it out. So GG to Kellz.
Yeah, you basically said everything that I was going to say. That the main thing that was really impressive to me was what you said, was the Valade withstanding it all. Because, like you said, Volk is a tank, but I've been using him in Arena this week, and he can put out some serious damage himself. So having the elemental advantage and being no slouch when it comes to damage, seeing him only deal, I think it was like 2,000, 2,500-ish to Valade was impressive. Because that was, even towards the end of the fight, he was still doing around that much damage, and that the fire res buff definitely had to have worn off by then. So definitely well built over on Kellz' side. I was floored, honestly, by the tankiness of his team. And once again, not to discount Isvar's side, his team was incredibly tanky too. If Valade just was able to go down to a couple hits and he wasn't able to just heal everyone back up to full every time, I definitely think Volk Minwoo had the edge when it came to out-sustaining. But the Valade, he hung in there tough, and he was able to just keep the heals going. So GG's to both players, and congrats to Kellz.
Congrats. All right, next up we got Unhindered, looking to soak and destroy Ram 9's Rock Boys. On Unhindered side, we got Surgis, Lorenzo, and Young Elda, Triple Pierce team, going against the Rock Boys' original Mont, Titus, I will say Titus, and Chunak. So let's see. We got some maybe evasion water. Let's see what's going on. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
All right.
I will fight to protect you.
So young Elda doing AoE resist up and his re-raise and auto restore. Fully online, headed forward. Ram 9 is Chunak is jumping up and is ready to engage. And next up we got Surges doing his Dragon's Bloodline to give him some major status resists. Titus looks like channeling a Heiska, and Mont on the other side of the ship casting his Courage buff and moving forward, trying to get into the action. Lorenzo doing his Dragoon buff and running forward, so we should be getting some engagement pretty soon. Titus now going for another Heiska to get onto all three. Chunak doing another ready to engage buff.
Unparalleled might.
And then we got some Sharp Spear coming out from Surges. Hilda now puts his shield online, so it looks like both sides are ready to get in there. We'll see if Titus is ready to engage next turn. Here we go. Oh, one more buff, luck up, that's going to help with their evasion. And then Mont jumping into the battle, starting with a Taunting Blade, building that hate up.
Okay. So it looks like at least the players do a third ready to engage. But with the Treasure Hunter's Portrait coming up from Titus, it does look like there's maybe an evasion route, or at least a slight one, but it did not hit the Chunak. It was just the Titus and the Mont. Oh, I take it back. He did it again and got the Chunak this time. So now there's a fresh Treasure Hunter's Fortune buff on both of them. But it looks like, was that a Vacuum Slash? Because if it wasn't, it looks like he has the accuracy. If it was, then that was a guaranteed hit. So either way, good for him to be able to at least get some damage in. But Chunak coming in, and that was a lot of damage right there. One-shotting that Surges, basically. The Talking Blade before, but basically a one-shot. King Elda, though, having the accuracy, because that was not a guaranteed hit. I think it was an increased accuracy hit, but I don't think he has any guaranteed hits in his kit. So that's at least good for Unhindered side to see that he has the accuracy on his King Elda, who's going to be his, or his young Elda, to be able to make sure that he has the accuracy on his main damage dealer. There's the haste remove from the Lorenzo, which is also nice, making sure that that does not get some extra turns in. And now it's 1v3, which I would say is really good in Ram 9's favor, but that one is young Elda, who has a shield that has not been pierced through, so it's kind of even if you ask me. And with that, yeah, with that, now it's a 2v1, and that one is still at full health. Chunak having something to say about that, though. He bringing him down to half health. And the courage remove coming out from the Mont, so now it is down to a 1v1. I told you it was even, but Chunak did a lot of damage there. He might actually be able to clean it up here. Oh, just barely not. So Unhindered's gonna need to one-shot. Oh, but he missed. Oh, that's big. So I don't know if his re-raise went Dispel. I think he might still have his re-raise online. So he might have one more chance if that's the case. Okay, he does. But with him missing the earlier attack, this could be pretty bad. Okay, they all hit, but unfortunately it still wasn't enough damage, and he's not going to lap, so there's plenty of AP on this Chunak to be able to finish off this fight. And there, down he goes. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That was an incredibly close match between Unhindered and Ram 9. It came right down to the wire. In the end, it looks like a little evasion saved the day. I feel like that one miss where Elda missed Chunak and couldn't chain his double attack really gave Chunak enough HP to survive and keep doing the damage. And on Ram 9's side, you got him Chunak was doing quite a bit of damage taking out that team. But then you got Elda really almost making the 1v3 comeback. He was so close in doing it, but just couldn't bring it home at the end. What do you think, Chisei?
Yeah, once again, you took the words out of my mouth. That was everything I was pretty much going to say, was that one evade from the Chunak, because I don't think any other attack got evaded on Ram 9's side, if I remember right. It was all pretty much guaranteed hits or the increased accuracy hit from Elda. Even if there was a couple hits in there I missed, almost everything from Unhindered's side landed. Yeah, the whole evasion route didn't really pan out, except for where it was needed most, which was that one miss on the Chunak. And if you see in the top left corner, he only has 3,000 health, so if that attack was able to chain, Elda was consistently doing about 2,000, 3,000 damage, so it would have been right at the wire, but I think that might have been enough damage to bring down the Chunak. So that one miss definitely came in clutch for Ram 9. That being said, from Unhindered side, it was 1v3, but that one being young Elda, man, that's a crazy unit. He's such a strong unit, and he, Unhindered showcased him today.
Definitely showing his cost too, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. 120 maybe was a little undercosted. I'm just messing.
Yeah.
But no, Unhindered did a great job of showcasing him. It was very close to be able to win that match, but unfortunately, like I said, even though it was young Elda, 3v1 is really hard to overcome, so I don't blame him for not being able to clutch that one out.
That was an incredibly close match and an incredibly fun match to watch. Well done by both sides, and GG to Ram 9 for the victory.
Absolutely, and GG's.
Okay, next up we got Funded with his Descending Angels of Hope, Elsarel, and Stern Knight of Ruin, going against Loji, Logical Fallacy with Minwoo, A2, and Mia. Before we get into this match, I do want to say this match was spoiled for me, so I will spoil it for you. Loji did say he won, or lost, or tied this match. So we should all just act surprised when one of those things happens. So let's get into this match.
All right, let's get into the match.
Enemies, please leave the rear to me.
Right, so Minwoo starts off the battle with casting her first buff. And then we got on Funded side, Stern at the top of the ship deck, doing a nice element resist buff there. Then we got Elsarel, who's going to run backwards as well, do some concentration on Stern and herself. A2 will be up next. So we'll do her survival field, agility up, plus her barrier, re-raise, all that good stuff. I'm sorry, not barrier, but barrier seal. Hope running down into the corner, maybe going to jump overboard, I'm not sure. But Mia next, doing the Aurora Blessings, getting ready for that dark resist and light resist. Good tech there. And now we got to haste it up, Mia. Then we got Minwoo, who's going to probably cast another haste, probably on A2. Mia's going to most likely charge forward if she's in range. Taunting spell. So it's sub Spellblade to get that hate up. So I think we all hate Mia, so that's pretty true to her character. And then we got A2 doing her dragoonish like job buff. Elsarel doing a double resist, getting closer to Mia there, and Stern charging in. Should be engaging pretty soon here. So Hope.
Yep, looks like
this is your guy. Chisei, what's he gonna do?
My guess is gonna be the single target move since she's going on there. Oh, it wasn't. It's her AoE, his AoE move. That one has the chance to stun. So it looks like either he got unlucky there, or she does have some was prepared for the stun resistance. Getting healed back up from A2 after her attack that did not only was able to break Stern's barrier, which is good for Funded side. He definitely wanted to take a more meaty hit rather than a small hit from Mia there to break that barrier. And then, Mia getting healed back up from the Minwoo. Elsarel coming in with the nice damage actually. On not a whole lot on the A2, but A2's a tanky unit too. But Stern coming in with some serious damage. A2's gonna need to do a lot of damage here, which I know she can. She did, but more importantly, it didn't KO anyone. And Hope can deal some massive damage, so he's my boy, so I want to see him deal some good damage here. He might even be able to catch Minwoo in an AoE, but nope, he's just going for the single Imperoga. So 6,000 damage, no slouch, but it's healed all the way back up. It did drop the area resist though, which is important because Elsarel, oh no.
Come on.
Oh, the perfect evade. Oh no. And it was on the LB too.
Oh.
So I think she was really close to going down the first time around. I think if that evade didn't happen, oh yeah. If that evade didn't happen, she would absolutely be down. I mean, she still had her re-raise, but oh man, that's rough. So Hope gets a chance to go next, but oh, never mind. I take it back. She just completely jumped in the turn order from what I saw, and yeah, that kind of seals the deal there. I don't think Elsurel has, because she has to get through a barrier and take out all of her health. Never mind. I mean, it's still looking really good for Loji's side, but I was not expecting Elsurel to be able to take out A2 right there.
I'll take that.
Healing power down, still hurting her a little bit, but I mean, it's her turn next, and I don't see a world, where she's not going to be able to clean this up. So, wow, A2 doing amazing A2 things, and that was a good showing from Loji.
All right, so impressive showing by both sides. An early start on funded side, really chipping down that A2 really well and hampering her heals with that healing power down. She was really not being able to heal back up to full. Mia did a great job on Loji's side, though, taking a few hits, drawing that hate. I think that was very important to get his side going. Looked like things were going on funded side pretty well until that reflex. I think that was the big turnaround point. Once A2 dodged that limit burst from Elsurel, she was able to dish out massive damage, which we all know she can do, and still be able to survive with that re-raise just long enough to win the match. So even though Loji still had 2 units standing at the end, it was a lot closer than what it shows at the end. So GG's to both players. What do you think, Chisei?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think the healing power down was massive on the A2, because I was saying earlier that even if they were able to kill that A2, if that reflex didn't happen, she still had her re-raise. But because of the healing power down, you saw that she only re-raised with like maybe 20% or 10% of her health. Like, it was not a substantial amount, and even the Minwoo healing her afterwards with both the Knight's Blessing and her Cleric heal, it did not heal for that much. It was like 2,000 each time. So she was not getting healed that much, and Elsurel being able to deal 6,000 damage, as we saw right there, means that she definitely would have had enough damage to take her down after that re-raise as well. So I do think that reflex was key, but at the same time, we have seen offensive Minwoo put in work. So I could see a world where the reflex didn't happen, but the Minwoo still was able to get there with some well-timed spells. So it could have gone either way. I still would have given the edge to Loji, but it was really close. Because like I said, get funded side, oh my gosh, the damage from every single unit, the Elsurel, the Knight of Ruined Stern, the Hope, every single unit was hitting 6,000 plus on every single attack. So the damage was absolutely there, and even they all sustained a single hit from A2, which is not a small task, because A2 brings the hurt. So sustaining a hit from A2 and also being able to deal that kind of damage means that his team was very well built. But one last thing I'll say about this is you can easily tell that both sides were very prepared for what the other side was going to bring. From Get Funded side, we saw the Way of the Void TMR come out, which is a fire and ice resistance, and you have Minwoo and you have A2, so that he was completely prepared for this team. And then from Loji's side, you saw the light res, the Elna TMR buff come out. So each side knew what each other was going to bring. So I always personally love seeing those matches, because that's what each side is bringing, the best of what they could prepare against what they thought the opponent had. So absolute GG's to both players. It was a fun match to watch, and congrats to Loji.
Yeah, GG's to both players, and thank you, Loji, for that spoiler. You were absolutely correct in that you won, lost, or draw. So thank you for that. GG's. All right, next match, we got KoushouHaou of the Mundivigant Warriors going against ChaseVsAll and his Brave Frontier. On KoushouHaou's side, we have Surges, Summer Glaciella, and Astrius, so a water comp, with Surges in the lead. On Chase's side, we got Starlight Elena, Original Helena, and Adelard. Should be a good one. Let's get into it.
Yep, let's get into it.
All right, starting off the match, we got Starlight Elena doing her Stellar Mars buff. On the other corner of the map, we got Astrius. Got a little haste and reaction block rate from King Bradley's TMR going forward. Helena doing Dragon's Grace, doing a magic up buff, so the whole team has got a boosted magic. Surges running to the opposite side still, buffing his old team, followed up by Summer Glaciella, doing her courage buff and her heal back buff. Might be a slow crawl to the middle. We got some luck up from Adelard and Elena now. And that's Astrius, who's got his courage online, so we got a couple of courages on that side of the field. And now we got more courage on that side of the field, so it's going to be a lot more buffs coming out. All right, we got some wind protection and some other good things from Helena. Astrius got time for one more buff, but he has nothing left online. He's ready to fight. Surges, he's going to need to move a little closer if he wants to get into this fight. He's still a little far back. Adelard's channeling, it could be a fast cast, I would imagine. Glaciella is up next, doing Crystal Grace, also got haste online. And Helena gets haste online. One side does, the other side wants to do also. Astrius out of his haste, but still not able to reach, puts his haste back online. Helena channeling another spell. All right, here we go.
Okay, that's some good damage going on the Astrius already. And the Quicken, which means she might be able to clean him up and pop his courage. Yeah, wow. That was a really well-timed Quicken from that Helena. Bringing Astrius down to courage, and with him being the main DPS, this fight could be over pretty quick. That being said, I think Short Thing is a guaranteed hit, so I was also worried about the accuracy, but oh, the Astrius is down, and that is massive. This is going to be a very rough fight for KoushouHaou coming back from this one, with Elena being one of the really good evasion units, being able to deal some serious damage and evade. Not doing a whole lot of damage on the Summer Glaciella, which is good for KoushouHaou here. But it's still a 3v2, and the main DPS from KoushouHaou is down. So this Surges is going to need to put on a complete show here. But that being said, the Summer Glaciella did do 3,000. Oh, okay, never mind. I just said Summer Glaciella did some good work, but oh my goodness. So there goes the main DPS from Chase's side too. Now all of a sudden this is looking really good for KoushouHaou. I was not expecting that to happen, honestly. But another stop from KoushouHaou. Wow, this Summer Glaciella, listen, maybe the Astrius was the tank all along. You know, he was the one that soaked up the first hits, he popped the courage, and Summer Glaciella is the actual DPS here because, wow. And yeah, that's game. That I don't see a way from a stopped Adelard to really turn this around, but wow. Okay. Wow, yeah, I did not expect the match to go that way at all. Like I said, we did see the Summer Glaciella deal 3,000 damage to the Elena, which was a significant amount, but it was not even half of her health. So I figured, you know, with her, Adelard, and you know, some Quickens from Helena, that they would be able to chew through the Summer Glaciella before she was able to take out the Elena. But oh man, I was wrong. The second Short Thing coming out and dealing 5,000 damage, and popping the courage and letting Surges come in, and I was like, okay, Surges is, once again, I thought he was going to deal like 1,000, 2,000 damage. 4,000 damage with the guaranteed hit, so I thought the damage was going to be all gone by the time Astrius was down, but I couldn't be more wrong. So
yeah, I agree. I'm with you with that. That was, once Astrius went down, I figured that was an uphill battle for Glaciella and Surges, and they climbed that hill. They put in the work, throwing in the stops in there too. I think she did 2 moves and they procced both times. I think that stop did. Huge way to turn the tide of battle. That was an impressive turnaround after losing the main DPS on one side. Them starting on opposite corners too, I don't know if that was the plan, to have the main DPS go forward and have the supports kind of battle it out in the end, but it was definitely an unexpected match. It was a lot of fun to watch, so GG's to both players.
Absolutely, a completely fun match to watch. So yeah, GG's to both players, and congrats to KoushouHaou. All right, so here's the standings at the end of week 2. In first place, we currently have a 3-way tie between Surftaco, Ram9, and Kellz. At 1 point, we have Unhindered, KoushouHaou, Loji, and Isvar. And yet to get any points yet is ChaseVsAll, Alkor, and Funded. Once again, this is only the second week, so these points can definitely change around, but Surftaco, Ram9, and Kellz off to a great start with 2-0 victories, and knowing how good of players they are, I mean, this could be a sign of things to come for the future. So congrats to those players, and congrats to everybody, just period. These matches were amazing to watch, and I had a great time.
Yeah, me too. Had a great time. A lot of fun joining you on this in the Enthusiast League. It's still early. Anyone could pull out ahead. So you can't count anyone out just yet, but looking forward to the next few weeks, seeing how things play out.
Absolutely. So GG's all players, and thanks for a fun week.
GG's.